Hello and welcome to Pedantic Handwavium, the podcast that tries to explain fictional worlds using science. I'm Simon.
And I'm Jeff.
And you know what? We had all of that material. We had like half an hour of material before this, where we were just having a conversation.
Yeah, and we did just burn through all of it, and now we have no intro again.
Yeah, now my creative brain is just completely, it's just done. I had half an hour of material in me.
Long hour and a half recording.
Of just us going,
well, beans.
Yeah. What's,
is it farts again?
Is it farts again? Maybe that's what we should do. We should just have an episode where we're given, like, a mechanism, and then the mechanism could be, like we have to explain everything that can be used for. So we're like, farts. What's everything farts can be used for? But that's not what we're doing today. Today, we're doing before it was a bit, and now I'm like, no, I actually have just ran out of. Maybe we should just talk about Delaware and Delaware's
We could just
accents.
talk about Delaware, or you know what else is kind of an interesting thing to talk about?
Oh, thank God.
Any of the movies that would air on
on like Sci-Fi
what's
Channel,
it called? Mystery Science Theater.
Also Mystery Science Theater.
Some number.
2000?
3000?
3000. What's
MST3? Yeah, 3000.
3000. Is the new one on Netflix also called the same thing?
I have no idea. I've watched neither of them.
You should. You would enjoy it very much. It's
I mean, really, if they have bad monster movies, that would really do it for me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but the guys are also like they're funny. They're pretty good. Actually,
right.
One of the guys
we can take the bit and segue into talking about monster movies.
Sorry, I was just distracted. I was about to be like, oh yeah, one of the guys from the Flophouse writes for them. Anyway, yeah, so monster movies, that's what we're doing this week. Because, you know what? It's a lot of fun. It gives us a lot of material. And we're sorry, we did classify this as B movies. And we're sorry if something we choose, you're like, oh, that's a great movie.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of B movies are great movies.
Barbarella.
They're just also bad.
There you go.
Surf Nazis Must Die. Amazing film. Very bad.
I take that back. Barbarella was not a good movie. But you know what was? Have you ever seen Cockneys vs. Zombies?
No.
Oh, you should.
I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, it's about Cockneys versus zombies. It's phenomenal.
Real good title.
Yeah.
Really nailed what the show's about.
It really, you can clearly see in the movie that they started with that premise, and then they were like, okay, so what is this kind of movie?
Now what?
Anyway, we're going to start, at least I'll start us off with, I think, a classic in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sharknado.
All right.
Anyone who doesn't know, Sharknado is a movie about
a hurricane that has sharks inside of it.
Actually, it's a tornado, but close.
There's a lot of water and tropical storms that happen with that tornado.
Yeah, well, it's a tornado. I mean, I think it's a cyclone is what they're called over water. Don't tornadoes?
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's something like that. I think it's a tornado. Oh, no, it's a cyclone. Yeah, it's a cyclone.
Mm-hmm.
And
but Sharklone didn't roll off the tongue as well as Sharknado.
I like Sharklone actually a lot more. Anyway, it's a tornado that essentially hits like a shark, illegal shark harvesting.
Like a lot of sharks.
Yeah, it's a ton of sharks.
There are a lot of sharks involved in that tornado.
Well, what happens is it hits a fishing boat that's illegally harvesting sharks, and then it picks them up, and then they become part of the cyclone.
Is that how that works?
I believe so.
Do they just fall out of it, and then the cyclone oh, what? Lost one. Gotta go back and pick him back up.
It's like Uber for sharks, but it's a cyclone. Sorry, roommates. I just laughed very loudly, and I realized last week I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't be as loud as I am.
They probably think I'm some weirdo.
They
don't believe I have a podcast at all.
This Actually, they all know that I have a podcast. None of them listen to it. Unless you do.
Well, I mean, neither do I.
Oh. I mean, they don't even know that. Anyway, this movie had a budget of $2 million.
I don't know if you were impressed with, like, how high that is, because it isn't.
Okay, Rubber has 800,000. Birdemic has less than $10,000. I always think of B movie as something that is below $1 million, but now I'm looking at a lot of them that I have on this list, and they are higher than $1 million. Boy,
Yeah.
Movies cost a lot, guys.
No, they do. They really do. You have to, like, buy cameras.
You can't
Pay
just
people money.
use your phone. Use slave.
Probably get away with some of them now.
Use. Well, here's gonna be. I was gonna make a callback to a conversation that me and Jeff had earlier.
But we did not record that conversation.
We didn't record that conversation. Anyway, guys. Yeah, it was gonna be really fun. It was gonna be about an amendment that's in Utah about. Yeah, it's fine.
About words.
About words. And, yeah, Utah's use of them in their constitution. Anyway. So, yeah.
Almost as riveting as a Sharknado.
1 second. They decide to stop the threat of the incoming Sharknados by tossing bombs into them from a helicopter to our destroyer.
Right.
So I didn't realize this movie, there's more than one shark. This happens multiple times.
In the same one
Yes.
film called Sharknado? That there are actually, 9 Sharknado films that exist now somehow?
There's 5, but 3 tornadoes develop and absorb the floodwater, turning into shark-filled Sharknados. So, yeah, this happens.
I love that the assumption that we have to give them for the premise is just floodwater. Oh yeah, loads of sharks in that.
Yeah, guys, you guys know how.
That's the only place you'll find a shark.
Only
in
place.
Floodwater.
Only place. Sharks can only exist in floodwater.
I mean, we had to clear out 7 of those bad boys when the river flooded our house one time.
When you lived in the bayou?
No, when I lived in a normal house.
You lived in a house?
The river flooded, and it was full of sharks.
You lived in a house that was... Look, Jeff, I know where you
had
lived.
Flooded? Yes.
Yeah. Really? That's something I never knew about you. Tell me more about that.
No, as riveting as it might be about how I lived on a couch for a while because our house was made of water, Sharknado might be more interesting.
Okay, so we gotta figure this out, dude. Why are sharks doing the things they're doing? So the issue I'm having, okay, is that
the thing is, I think it's just the sharks are they don't give consent to these cyclones.
No, I don't think the sharks. I don't think the sharks are creating the cyclones. But
they don't even want to be there. Is the thing.
I agree. I want to look up the weight of a shark.
That's why they fall out of them all the time onto people.
Here's the thing. Okay, so yeah, a shark is heavier than a person.
Uh-huh.
So how is it that a cyclone is able to pick up and keep a shark in it, but not just pick up and throw people like a normal tornado does?
Does it not pick up and throw people, or does it just not show that happening? Or is it when the people get picked up by the tornado, they then get ate by the sharks in it?
I believe pretty much the Sharknado doesn't kill people by picking them up and throwing them. It kills people by throwing sharks at them. That is the first thing that it does is it doesn't pick up and throw a ship or the people on the ship. It fills the ship full of sharks, and then the sharks eat everybody. Yeah. So it feels it can pick and choose what it is throwing, or are we making the claim that sharks are somehow more aerodynamic than people? Or less aerodynamic,
Well,
I guess?
I think that a shark probably would be more aerodynamic than people.
I agree.
First of all.
Yeah. But then that's the thing.
And I think that, like, the reason the tornadoes aren't throwing people is because they're just so shark dense.
Oh.
That the people end up inside of sharks before they can get thrown.
Oh. So you think... Okay. Okay. So you think that, like, the shark... You just think that they're just getting got before they get picked up. Like, it's like a little bit of a time, like a little bit of a lag before you get swept up by the tornado.
Right. Well, I mean, you can get swept up into it like a little bit, but you're bound to hit a shark before you get too far.
Okay.
And that shark will
eat you because it's a shark and it's a killing machine.
Right. And that's all they know.
And they only know violence. They're like spiders. Another callback.
Just like spiders. Another callback to a conversation we didn't record. We are killing it.
We are
with
just
these
doing
good jokes and callbacks today.
Yeah. Oh man, if only you guys had heard that conversation, it would have been great.
We talked about politics and Simon's phobias. You really missed out.
Okay. I still am having a tough time thinking, like, sharks don't weigh, like, a little bit more than people. Sharks weigh...
Sharks are heavy boys.
Yeah, they weigh, like,
they're
700
very
kilograms.
Aerodynamic, and when in a tornado, they can use their fins to generate lift.
Okay, so I like that. That I do like. I like...
That way they can stay aloft.
Yes, the lift I understand. And I like that because it also means that, like, the sharks have some agency. Like, they are choosing to kill. Like, they're choosing to kill.
The tornado
just
happens to be their chance to get onto land.
And finally...
to commit all of the murders they really wanted to.
Yeah, because the one thing that was stopping sharks was that they can't be on land. They can't walk.
Right.
Here is the thing. So sharks notoriously have to keep swimming to breathe.
Right.
How are they breathing in the Sharknado? Because, like, assuming they're not in water because they're in a... I guess they're in a cyclone.
It is, though. It is, like, made of water. Yeah, but it's not just like an air tornado. It's a cyclone, like you said.
But they're not in the water. Like, they have to come out of the water. They are. But then how are they eating people? Are people just getting sucked into water and then eaten by sharks?
I mean, like, you can go in water and survive for a little while.
Yeah.
The sharks just do the same thing, but backwards.
So you're saying that they're popping out of the water to kill,
to commit their heinous crimes.
So this is like a tornado cyclone hybrid, where, like, they can still be floating and fly in the air
I think
part.
at every point in the film, it is like the tornado is made of water, and I think the film just had bad marketing and really liked the Sharknado portmanteau. Okay, so there's no air whatsoever. This is just water, and well, I mean, it's like mostly water.
Okay,
like it's still like air whipping all the water around.
Yeah, what if we did it?
It's sucking it up.
What if we did it like this? What if we did it like it's like a storm? Like it's like really highly saturated to the point where there's droplets, and just like the water, like so. This is gonna sound strange. I realized as I like thought of the words that were coming next, I was like, this is gonna be weird. Anyway, so it's got
has never stopped you before.
It's whipping around. It's got droplets, and the droplets are becoming really oxygenated because there's a lot of surface area. There's a lot of movement. It's perfect. Mm-hmm. The sharks are bringing in that water like through their gills, and then they're peeing it out, and then their pee is now becoming the other droplets that are then whipping around. So the sharks are just drinking their own pee or their own liquid excrement constantly.
Well, I mean, all sharks are homeopaths, so they understand that.
So good. I mean, you mean orologists? Homeopaths are the ones who are believe like versus like. Orologists believe that urine is the golden whatever potion
with urine therapy. Well, I don't think it's necessarily urine therapy. I think that they just do know that since they have ever excreted in the ocean and the waves then succust the water, that they are
immune to everything.
Constantly consuming. Yeah, and clearly immune to everything.
I agree. I think that they don't really mind the fact that they're swimming in the pee of their brethren, because they do that anyway. That's all the ocean is fish pee.
Right.
And that you could take that
fish pee all the way down.
You could take that to the bank. You know, oceanographers are always just like, "This is a big old bucket of fish pee." Someone's like,
they got their kink and they're really into it and they study it.
Yeah, I mean, make your passion your job.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They're really just living 1,000 years ahead of us.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
They see in all 5 dimensions, man. We're making jokes about 3-dimensional chess. They're paying 10-dimensional chess, which is obviously 3 1/3 3-dimensional chessboards just put together.
Not even put together, but like all superimposed into each other simultaneously.
Yes. Yes, we all know this, guys.
We all know how to play 10-dimensional chess. Chess. It's just oceanographers are good at it.
That's it. That's it. That's what oceanography means. It means you're good at 10th-dimensional chess. And that's all they learn. Oceanographers learn nothing in school. Hopefully we have no listeners who are oceanographers. If so, I'm sorry. But you do study.
If we do, they have heard any other episode and what we've done with everyone's favorite fandoms. They understand.
It's true. So that's what we have to do. Once we move on from fandoms, we have to go to other just people's occupations and their passions. Like, let's talk about jugglers and artists and, I don't know. What other passions do people have? Making applesauce? All those people. We're coming for you.
Jugglers, artists, and applesauce makers. The only 3 worthwhile professions.
Only me and Jeff are in none of those professions. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm going to grad school for. Applesauce making.
To finally learn how to make applesauce.
But make it really well. All right, I think we got it. We got the Sharknado figured out then.
Did we?
I feel like we did.
What is a Sharknado?
So it's a storm. It's like a giant rain cloud that is whipping around really fast. The sharks are staying suspended because they generate lift with their fins.
Fins?
So that's how they're staying, and then they're staying alive because just like the wind and the droplets are so oxygenated that it can sustain their bodies, and then they just need a feed, which they do by eating people.
I mean, I think at that point it's less they're feeding and just indulging in their one true dark desire, which is to murder.
Yes.
Their mouths are the best way to do it.
Yes. That's another way you can look at it. You know,
I've learned nothing from any Shark Week, or how sharks actually do,
or how sharks work, or do they still do Shark Week? They must.
I assume they do.
I think to me, if I remember correctly, they started to do Shark Week more often, and
just they ran out of other content.
Well, yes, I mean
it's like whatever. It's the 52nd Shark Week this year. Let's really drive it home.
And then so that laugh out loud was not forced. I was laughing at the fact that it took me so long to realize that when you said 52nd Shark Week, I was like, oh, he means that they're just doing it's Shark Week every week.
Yeah. Oh god, I started drowning on my seltzer when you actually laughed out loud at my bad joke.
Oh my gosh, it's pretty good. Just like 2020's 52nd Shark Week. And you're like,
the only way we can turn it around.
Listen, guys, sharks aren't that bad. I mean, I would say Discovery Channel ran out of material back in 2018.
You think they made it that long?
I mean, that's when Mythbusters went off the air. What, in 2016? Dirty Jobs is like 2013.
I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? They ran out of material long ago. They're no longer the Discovery Channel. They're now Bad History Channel. Because
I mean, are they now Bad History Channel compared to the History Channel now, or what it used to be?
No, I mean like the History Channel now, because you watch the History Channel to see crazy garbage. But if you go to the Discovery Channel, you watch crazy garbage that isn't good. Because they're still trying to be educational, they have to just like give it up the ghost. Like History Channel just been like, you know what? Who cares?
It's all aliens and pawn shops. That's it.
And like conspiracy theories and...
Are they doing conspiracy theories?
They have always done conspiracy theories. They love like Hitler was a secret lizard man and stuff like that.
Wait, was he not?
I mean, he was, but it's still a conspiracy theory.
Oh, okay.
Because the mainstream media won't agree to it.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I think we figured out Sharknado. They're bloodthirsty monsters. So, would you like to do one? Or do you want me to do one of mine? Because...
I mean, I will throw out an idea.
Okay.
But I think you understand it better because of your condition. Where I think we should talk about the Lavalantula, finally.
I'm so glad I already had that page open up. That was exactly where I was going to go, Joe. Listen, guys. First of all, it actually was very difficult to find because the first time I saw it, I thought it was Lavalantula, and I was like, that makes so much more sense to me. Lavalantula.
Yeah, because it does.
Doesn't make it like... It like when you even like it isn't like even a pun when you spell it out because Laval is not a word.
And well, I think it's
tarantula,
the lava part of lava.
Yeah, and then antula.
And the lantula part of
tarantula. There's no L in tarantula.
Bud, you want to give that another pass?
Okay, so there's an L at the end of tarantula, but not in the place where they put the L.
Well, I mean, they needed some letter to combine the words.
Lavalantula or Lavantula. You could just not have that AL, and it would be Lavantula, and it would be fine.
Well, yeah, but if it's Lavantula, are you going to have two A's side by side, or just make it the one?
You just make it the one.
Because then you're combining too many if it's the one.
No, you're not combining too many. That's the same. First of all, that's the same number of words. Just the A is doing double duty, or it's doing single duty, and it's just in one of the other words. I think you're wrong about this. Listen.
No, I think that extra L is really pulling most of the weight.
It isn't.
Really is what puts the word
Listen,
together.
It makes it difficult to spell when you only know the concept, but you don't know the actual word.
Well, yeah, but a Lavantula sounds like a Pokemon.
For sure.
And is probably adorable. A Lavalantula? You don't know what that is. That's probably just going to be scary.
That's true. I mean, there's nothing scarier than the unknown.
Exactly.
So this is a movie. I guess we should... I mean, I actually don't know what its budget was. I assume small. It's going to be my guess.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's good.
It is a movie about... So essentially, sinkholes open up, and I think it's in, like, Hollywood is what it's set. But somewhere in the Ring of Fire, and tarantulas start coming out of it. I know what you're thinking.
All right. Like normal hand-sized tarantulas. Easy peasy.
Exactly.
You can deal with that no problem.
But it's not. That's the crazy thing.
Ah, well, beans.
These are car-sized tarantulas. Car-sized? Yeah,
well, like
I would say
a big car or a small car? 'Cause that makes a difference to me.
Think like... You know what? I'm actually going to do this because I want to make sure that I am right. I believe the Lavantulas... Good. Google's
based on a car?
Google can autofill it now. Because I've looked it up so much.
Googled Lavalantula twice now, and now it tries to autocorrect anything remotely similar to Lavalantula.
So the Lavalantulas go from like normal. Wait, you just like normal hand-sized tarantulas? Tarantulas are not hand-sized; they're palm-sized.
Oh, I'm sorry. You assume fingers are part of a hand?
I think that they are for sure part of a hand. I mean, it's the
No, they're fingers.
no, it's the carpals and the metacarpals. That's the whole hand. You don't say the palm is the hand. Palm is a different word. It's a subset of the hand.
Yeah, it's the hand.
No, it's a subset
And
of
you
the hand.
have all the fingers.
No,
The fingers are like
no,
the delicious topping on top of the hand.
no.
They're bonus extras.
Listen. You are wrong about that L, and you are wrong about this. I want you guys to get him in the comments. I want you guys to find Jeff. Just email him constantly because he's the one who deals with the email. Don't Twitter because that's me. Or tweet. Don't tweet because that's me. Get him and tell him that hands are not. I mean, wait. Fingers are not are part of the hand. They are for sure part of the hand.
Well, you know, it sounds like you're speaking from a place with finger privilege, and I think you should
Listen, people
really kind of take a deep dive.
Anyway, sorry. These tarantulas. I just realized what Jeff said halfway through, and I realized it was insane. Tarantulas are like maybe tennis ball sized. Listen, dude, I have been to the Rosamond Gifford Zoo. I've been there several times, and I refuse to go in the tarantula little dark cave
because they're all palm sized.
because they're terrifying. Period. And I'd rather chill with the zoos or with the monkeys. The golden tamarin is right there. I don't know what the other. I think it's chimpanzees is also in that room. I don't know why the tarantulas in that room.
But it's something that is literally anything other than a tarantula.
And that's why I don't go in the tarantula room. Trust me, all my guys from Central New York are like, yeah, no, that is a terrifying place that we should never go into. Anyway. These are then they go from like normal sized tarantulas to like bus sized tarantulas, like
okay, so that's like a big car,
coach size, yeah. So that's one thing. One thing we got to figure out is how can you have a tarantula that big? Because there are some severe limitations. Okay, that's not the. I mean, the issue is oxygen. Because if you remember from your actual degree, the thing that limits bug size is the surface to inside ratio, whatever that's called.
No, you got it. The surface to insides.
Listen. I am not a bug dude. I would listen. I like my creatures the relative size of me, and if they have 4 legs, that's even better. Anyway,
all those 2-leg creatures are right out though.
Not fans of them, man. I could hang with a kangaroo, but the people, no. And I don't know if you would call a monkey two-legged, because I feel like I could also hang with a monkey. Anyway, what would it be like if you got a monkey drunk?
They'd probably eat your face.
I feel like there's like non-violent monkeys. Like there are monkeys that are herbivores, aren't there?
Just get like happy drunk monkeys.
Yeah, just like get like a golden tamarin, just like totally blasted. And just like see what he does. Yo,
just give him an N64 controller.
Yo,
he'll figure it out.
Yeah, he'll do it. Everybody figures it out. It's completely intuitive.
What, with those 3 separate prongs for your 2 hands?
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously you don't need. I actually had to take one of my headphones off because I'm shouting now. Anyway. Sorry. You're right. Lavalantulas. So these are tarantulas that come out of the ground that can spit lava. Patu.
A normal tarantula.
Yeah. So
ability.
We haven't gotten into the weird thing yet, and they were buried in magma millions of years ago, and the only way to kill them is to kill the queen spider. So that's the issue I have.
So they're like vampires.
Yeah. Is that tarantulas don't have queens. Those are bees. and that's the one issue with this whole movie. So Jeff, I want you to describe to me a tarantula society that has a queen.
I mean, clearly they had to evolve to be eusocial while they were buried in magma.
Clearly.
It's the only way that they could survive as an entire species.
It's the only way anyone can survive in magma.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is
Not what you're expecting me to bust out just right away.
no, it wasn't. But it's also very difficult to like actually come up with an explanation for this. This is
Well, I mean, like, why they have a queen does... I would still say that it's through evolution, because
no. I think that's a good idea.
living in magma is a very harsh environment, and in order to like be successful as a species, they do have to work together.
Yeah, you need one procreator there, and you just make that procreator fat and happy.
Mm-hmm.
So here's an idea.
Just living the life.
Here's an idea. A man, okay, or woman, a person, has a lot of tarantulas. Like, I'm saying billions of tarantulas. Puts them all in lava.
And he throws them all into a volcano.
Yes. He's like, why do I have so many tarantulas? I gotta get rid of some of them. What's the easiest way? Lava. Some of those tarantulas, lava-proof.
I mean, statistically, you're bound to have one or two.
Exactly.
Right?
It's just genetic variation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those become the queens, or the like. Those spawn the queen spider. All of its descendants have
in all of its glory.
Yeah, all of its descendants have magma proofing.
Which makes sense because they're the ones who survived.
Yeah, and that's how this happens. Okay, here's a question: once they are magma proof, what do they eat? Because I mean, like, you can't eat magma. I've tried. It's not nutritious.
I'm trying to remember the word for things that eat earth. Not pica. That's not actually a thing.
That's
something phage.
Well, no, pica is a thing, but
no, well, pica is a thing, but it's not like a sustainable diet that creatures exist on.
Very true. It's purposefully not a sustainable diet. You're right. Is it a troph? Is it a phage or a troph? A geophage?
I think it's a geophage. Makes sense. I don't know if that's necessarily what it is.
What if we just look up geophage?
Actually,
a geophage is a creature that eats earthy substances such as clay and chalk.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
The lava-resistant tarantulas that survived had a
I believe I said lava
probiotics inside of them that were like geophages that do eat earth and lava, for instance, as a type of earth, a liquidy earth. A nice nougaty center
yes.
in that volcano.
Because the earth is essentially just like a Three Musketeers bar. That's...
Yeah.
We live on the chocolatey crust.
But if you really know where the good stuff's at, you go to the lava nougat.
Yeah, obviously. And obviously more complex geologic systems are like things like Snickers bars or Mars bars, or the other one there that has just the nougat and the caramel but not the peanuts. It's not a Mars bar.
Milky Way?
It's a Milky Way, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's not the tarantulas eating the lava. They are taking in the lava for the bacteria to eat, and the bacteria give off energy for the tarantula.
Okay. I'm gonna say...
They're trying to work that into, like, why they can, like, spit lava later.
Ooh. I like that. Okay.
So they just have, like, a lava stomach that they keep it in, and they regurgitate when they spit lava at people.
I like this. I like the idea, because so what I was thinking was, like, how would the bacteria be sustaining the lava-proof tarantulas? And what makes me think is that maybe it's like it's like an internal structure. Like the tarantula is no longer is consuming the bacteria, but it's recycling all of that carbon, all of that like building material back into itself.
Right.
To kind of feed the bacteria. The issue is, how does it grow larger? like it doesn't have more carbon to deal with. And you see what I'm saying? Like, so I can understand like how.
No, I'm missing something.
So I can see how it maintains its energy, but I don't know how it grows. Like, how does it get more energy or more material, not just energy?
I think as the like bacterial colony like hits a critical mass, like the colony grows faster than the tarantula like consumes them, and once that colony hits a critical mass, the tarantula can in turn get bigger because it then has access to those additional resources.
So you're saying that these tarantulas aren't made of carbon; they're made of like metals and the like. That's almost like where does the material for the tarantula come from?
For the spider?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought we were talking about.
No, I am completely down with the geophage bacteria that just kind of grows and generates energy.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like maybe it's like an internal cycle where they're like converting carbon to an energy source that's being burned by the tarantulas, then being turned back into a carbon that's being eaten by the geophage. It's kind of like a cycle like that.
I mean, it could be just a part of like the bacteria, like part of the byproduct with the breaking down the various lavas. I guess it's probably just the same one kind of lava though, huh? Maybe it like pulls out the carbon other like material that's needed.
Yeah, they're not made of carbon. They're made of silica. That's what it is. I don't know why they didn't occur to me.
The bacteria or the spiders?
Either or. But magma has silica in it.
Right.
And so they're just silica
glass spiders.
Yeah, just they're not glass spiders. They're more like computer chip spiders because it's an interconnected silica. Silica can bind to itself like carbon can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. And they obviously have like magma stomachs. Like they're ruminators. They got a rumen that's full of. So like the vomiting lava is just the cud from the tarantula.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if it's necessarily like ruminating and cud, or if it's just like they have a storage for.
Listen, Jeff, I also want to be included in this episode.
All right, sure. They're ruminating on the lava and they're spitting out lava cud.
It's fine. I am normally the one who just he just runs with stuff. All right. So I think we have Lavantulas.
Yeah, I think we actually did a surprisingly good job on the Lavalantulas. Yeah. I wasn't expecting us to get nearly as far as we did.
No.
Or like nearly the internal consistency as we did.
I don't know how they make the leap from maybe they're like the guy made like a bunch of silica. I want to say spider wizards, and that's not the word I'm looking for. Like I'm looking for.
No, I think you nailed it with spider wizards.
I am looking for mecha spiders, silica mecha spiders, and that's what he dumps into the lava. So maybe they're not naturally occurring spiders.
They're not. Okay.
Yeah, that way it doesn't have to make the jump from carbon to silica-based life forms. That's tough to do. Yeah, I don't know why spider wizard was in my brain.
Spider wizard is the only option.
So you want to move on? What time is it?
Sure. Yeah. No, we got this one.
Yeah.
We did one good. What's next?
You know what? Just because I really want to do it before we run out of time, and we're for sure gonna have to return to this because we wasted a lot of time.
We wasted a lot of time, and there was way more meat on these bones than I was expecting.
Yes, for sure. So I was gonna do Rubber.
All right.
Yeah, because it's a movie that I very much enjoyed. Is a strong word.
Consumed that media.
Yeah, tolerated also seems strong. Consumed is a good way to say. It was there. It was on when I was around it. So Rubber is like a spoof on B movies. Much like Sharknado is. Actually, we've done a lot of spoofs. That is about a rubber tire that blows stuff up with its mind. It is like kind of like a explosive telekinesis. And then it falls in love with a woman, and it follows her around and it just kind of kills stuff around her.
Like any sapient tire would do.
Like any sapient tire would do. I think at one point in part, like someone finds out that it's a sentient tire, but who cares about that part? Jeff, it's a living tire. It is a tire.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What do you think it is? It's got the ability to blow stuff up with its brain.
Yeah. Well, with that though, it does mean it has a brain.
Okay, I guess brain is brain's a strong term.
I mean, it is described as it comes to life and kills people with psychokinetic powers, which I think kind of definitionally does have to come from its mind.
Well, okay, I don't think we have to get that pedantic. If you would like to give it a brain, I'm totally down.
That is exactly the name of our podcast, Simon. We do have to be that pedantic.
Okay, so then, yes, for something to be psychokinetic, it would have to come from a brain. Particularly a human brain, I think.
I'm not sure if it necessarily has to be human.
Excuse me. I think... Wait. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm trying to... Okay, that is the Alfred Hitchcock film.
Lavalantula again.
That is Lavalantula again. Google, I only want to look it up once. Okay, that is Psych, the television show. I want entomology. Does entomology have a Y or an I?
I don't know.
Well, Google will correct me. It had a Y. So psych means soul.
Well, I misunderstood that word my whole life. I was today years old when I learned that it meant soul.
Yeah, but like its soul is in like the Greek etymology for soul, so it means like breath, and it means like animation more than...
Right.
So I think we're fine with it not having a brain, but having some kind of cognitive ability.
Mm-hmm. Or does it...
Does
it necessarily have to be, like... The cognitive ability, I'm imagining it has, like... agency. Is it just working off of, like, instinct, though? Or do you think it has agency?
That's a tough question. Because we really have to answer, is love an instinct? Or is it agency? I mean, do we need to have agency?
That it falls in love with...
Or that it just wants
person,
to
or
reproduce?
Does it want to procreate with them?
You know, it's never explained.
You can kind really understand the emotional state of a rubber tire.
I kind of like the idea, because I think it would be funny if it just wants to procreate. What if all tires... So what if it's like Toy Story, but for tires? What if all tires have this ability? We just never knew. And that...
Yeah, I mean, it could be the case.
Let's nail something down here. I think tire... I think it's got to be something. Something's got to be up with it. Like, it's got to have some... Okay, so let's start very basic.
Okay.
Tires cannot, as far as we know, animate themselves.
Right.
How does this tire do that?
Yeah, so are we suggesting that it's not actually a tire? Or has it ascended amongst tires? It is a god among tires.
I think if we were really to be strict about the definition of tire, I would call this probably not a tire. Because I think part of the definition of a tire is that it is an inanimate object.
So there's no people that you would...
Call tires?
Classify as a tire.
I would say no.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I like that.
And that is just me. Again, other people can have other definitions for tires. Mine includes inanimation. But
this one is animate. Yeah. So not a tire.
So what is it? Is it a slime mold? Is it
an escaped mascot?
Is it an escaped mascot? So what I'm kind of liking, because like there's an organic component to a tire. Like it's rubber. Yeah. It's made of carbon.
Right.
So what if just like
in the production of this tire, just
like someone made life.
Like Yeah.
Like there's like the spark of God, whatever it is that.
In that assembly line that made that tire.
Yeah.
I can get behind the tire just through an accident and quirk of the universe.
It's very
accidentally became alive.
It's very Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy explanation for just random happenstance. Happened to be this tire that became sentient. Okay, so then how does the tire move? Because the tire
it rolls.
But how does it stop rolling then? That's the thing. Like it can control when it rolls and when it doesn't, and it's not consuming any material that we can see. You know what I like? I like this idea. So there's a D&D character that I've been working on in my brain. That is it's an alchemist class. It's a blob that just rolls on the ground and just picks up the materials it needs for its alchemy. Just because it's a blob that rolls on the ground.
I like it.
What if this is like a similar kind of thing? Like when the tire rolls, it picks up organic matter from the soil, like a plant would. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of converts it to like it burns it like it respirates like a normal creature.
Oh, okay. Then I guess like what would it then be? Like, would it be using that energy to, like, lean forward or backward? To roll forward or backward?
You know, that I don't know. I think my image of it is that it's actually to move forward. Locomotion, in this sense, is that it's just... It's changing body temperature. Controlling body temperature. So that it expands and shrinks in certain spots. So it becomes not perfectly cylindrical and rolls, essentially.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Psychokinetic abilities. Those. Are they...
Yeah, they're harder.
They're harder. So, that's probably really good audio. I'm really glad to hear that later on in my life.
It's...
Me generating
probably only a little bit better than, or a little bit worse than silence. We can just cut out silence, easy peasy.
It's true.
But other mouth noises, you gotta keep that good content.
You gotta keep that, because people want to hear the mouth noises, the thinking mouth noises.
That's really what our podcast is missing.
More noises. Psychokinetics. Why can't things just touch things and affect them?
I don't know. I mean, like, because now, today, I learned that it's not necessarily coming brain chemistry for psychokinetic powers. It's just whatever the process by which it is animate. It is able to also do psychokinesis.
But like what?
I don't know how we can make that work.
Oh.
But you have an idea, and I will cover for you while that idea percolates. And then hopefully by the time I run out of things to say, you can pick back up. With no delay.
First of all, Jeff, my ideas come fully formed to me. The issue I have are words. Words are bad, and they're hard.
Right.
But I was thinking something along the lines of... Okay, so I think it's like a sonic blast.
And it just kind of like expands and contracts real quick. And like
he vibrates.
Pushes all that air out.
Yeah. It's all he does. He vibrates at a very high frequency.
I can get behind,
because I would like to say
these good vibrations that this sentient tire uses to explode things.
I mean, I don't know if they're good. I mean, good is a relative term. I feel like it has like moral implications to it. They're vibrations. But the first thing he breaks is a glass beer bottle, and he seems to cause people like pain. So I think it is that it's just a very high-pitched, high-energy noise that he's using to break things, and he can focus it very well because obviously he's a circle.
Right.
And so maybe he's got like I don't know. Can you like if you just have a ring, could you do like a Doppler thing? Not Doppler like not Doppler. That's the wrong word.
Yeah, no.
Like a radar
I mean,
dish.
it does have like
Like a
the
focusing.
inside of the tire that it can use to like
Focus.
as a resonance sort
Yeah,
of chamber.
yeah. The amplification right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then but how does he focus it? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm
And he's
issuing.
got that hole on the side of him.
So you think because that's what I think too, is that he makes, so here's the thing, he makes the inside of him a little bit asymmetric, okay? So he's got that very well resonance,
very well.
resonance chamber there, and then it just like builds up, and then he grows like one side of him into the donut shape, and then that's where he focuses out of the. Yeah, so it is very similar.
Yeah, I'm totally into that.
Yeah, boy, that actually, like, I could draw some in a diagram about how this stupid tire.
About exactly how this tire has psychokinetic powers.
Yeah, it would be not particularly complex. It is a very poor design, but it is a tire and not meant for this.
It's just working with what it has.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just doing what it can. It just really wants to procreate with this woman.
just living its best life.
Do we want to get into why it wants to procreate with this woman, or do we just think it just is? It just
I think it's just driven by that deep instinct that that all tires are driven by.
all tires. I like that. I like the fact that all tires are sentient. I know it's not very scientific, but you know sometimes we got to break our formula because then it's like it shakes it up a little bit. I'm gonna call this now. All tires are sentient, and they just want to. They want to procreate real hard. Got to keep PG for that. Not to keep that explicit tag, but they do want to replicate with everyone all the time. Your car, you ever think your car was like?
I mean, that is how more tires are made.
Yeah. Why do you think there's so many piles of them in the woods? Those are freaky tires.
Yeah.
Freaky exhibitionist tires. Or all au natural. Do we want to do one more?
Where are we at? We're at just a little over an hour, so we're probably at like 45, 50 for an actual episode.
I think so, depending on how much of our stupid conversation I keep.
Yeah, that is where I'm not sure. But we do also have rambly outros, so I think by the time we're done with the outro, we might be pretty close to an actual hour.
But like, what?
Do you have one more that you really
I have
want?
one more that I think we should do because it's something. I've got to stop playing with the cord that leads to my mic. I'm sorry, listener.
Is it a quick one, or do we have to go for a walk to solve this one?
It's the Blob. We've mentioned it before, and I feel like if we don't,
we have, and that was number 4 on my list because I think we can't do number 3 any justice, and I know if one of my friends happens to hear this episode and we do it, they'll be very upset.
Was it Jack Frost? Because that was my number 3 that I skipped.
No, it was Audrey 2.
Oh, okay, that's right. You told me kind of what that was, and I've actually forgotten.
It's just a normal plant. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. I'm very happy we never got to the Puppet Master because I did not want to have to explain the plot to the Puppet Master because I was very confused by it. So we got... Oh, it's a slime mold.
We have this whole are we going to actually do this one? Are we ready? Is it going to take too much time? The Blob, slime mold, done. Moving on. Outro, killing it.
But it kind of is just like a slime mold. It already exists.
Yeah,
it's just
it is
really big.
Do we want to unpack it a bit?
I mean, we could
for the listeners, so we can fill in a little more time.
So,
give the listeners what they're paying for.
So I have to remember this movie a little bit better because its plot synopsis is way longer than all the other ones because it's not really a B movie. Okay, so it's a movie with Steve McQueen, who is the Cooler King. It's about a monster that is just it's just a growing mass of kind of like bones and viscera, but the way
like that alchemist character you have,
like actually very similar, can hypnotize people and bring them into like closer in, so that when it I'm explaining this well. So what happens is it starts off in someone's basement, but it can like hypnotize people. I don't remember how to so that they go into the basement and they line up for it to eat, and then it just slowly eats people that way. So it doesn't have to like chase someone down. It can bring the
I
people
think that
to
would
them.
be probably we can blame that on like pheromones or like spores that it gives off to kind of like override what the person would normally do.
Like that fungus that takes over the. I like that.
Yeah, the one that I can't remember, and it's really bothering me that I can't remember.
Yeah, that
offhand.
kills ants. Mm-hmm. I like that. It kind of just
cordyceps.
Cordyceps. Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, it kind of takes over the human brain and just makes like the smell of the monster very good.
Right, very well.
Sorry, you're right. Very well. Yeah, I mean that's actually a pretty good explanation, I think. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like a slime mold, and it's already a slime mold.
Yeah.
And then it just grows by eating the organic matter, like digesting the organic matter of humans.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, probably of anything else it comes across, but
yeah, like dogs,
we all
cats,
know it prefers
plants.
humans.
So here's a question: Do you think that the blob could eat a tire?
I wonder how nutrient dense the tire would be compared to a people.
Okay, so you think...
I think it would prefer a people.
So you think it needs to like not just like a carbon source, but it's like all of its nutrients, like phosphorus, nitrogen, lithium.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Kind of all those trace minerals, molybdenum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's got to rip out of a person.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I like that idea. Yeah, I'm down. I can dig it. As is said in the classic film, The Warriors. Well, I mean...
I don't know if that's necessarily... I think it's... They ask if you can dig it.
I'm responding to him. It's what...
As is said in my mind when I
Whenever
watch the
I watch
classic film The Warriors.
And he asks, can I dig it?
Can you dig it? Yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah. You know what? I think we can take over New York City. You're right. I can count. Just
sure do hope there isn't a gang that betrays this whole gang meeting or anything, because I'm really digging it.
I am digging it right now, guys. I am digging it. Like, call me, because I am digging it. Or the Mole Man. That also works. And that's not a property that is owned by a litigious company. Probably would have been better for you to use that, Simon. I agree. I got my finger stuck in a beer bottle.
I need to watch The Warriors again to figure out which gang you would be in.
So, okay. Obviously, I would say the Warriors, because, like, come on, man. But I also don't want to be from...
Obviously.
I don't want to be from Staten Island, which I think they're from, because... Who wants to be from Staten Island? I think I would be like the main gangs, like that main guy, the cool guy whose name is like Ulysses or something like that, who dies in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Sorry, spoilers for the Warriors.
Right, well, spoilers.
Spoilers for the first 10 minutes of the Warriors.
Oh man, I'm going to make a BuzzFeed quiz to place which Warriors game.
Are you a clown? Are you a baseball player on skates? Are you the man outside of a bus swinging a 2x4? You don't really know any of the other gangs. Are you the guy who gets pushed in front of a train?
Have you taken any BuzzFeed quiz? You don't need to know anything about them.
I mean, I agree. If you
just need like one or two kind of like surface level ideas and concepts, and you're in.
It would be really
Perfect.
really funny though if you didn't include the warriors, or I think the snakes is the other the enemy.
I don't
gang.
remember what
I think
the
it's
antagonist
I think
gang
it's
is.
well. First of all, come on. I mean, we got the internet in front of us. I believe it is the snakes. You do the outro, and I will look this up.
Okay, while you look that up, we would like you to visit us on the internet at pedantichandwavium.com, or, if you're as lazy as I am, pedantichw.com. We are on the Twitter at phandwavium. We're on the YouTubes at, I assume, Pedantic Handwavium. We are on most podcasting apps.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe to us. Take your friends' phones and like and subscribe to us on their phones. Leave comments. Give us show suggestions at that website that I called out earlier. I think it was pedantichandwavium.com.
It was.
Good. Nailing it. And we would like to thank Joe Sopchak for our theme music.
Yeah. The main guy is actually, now that I know more about New York City, this movie is way crazier.
Yeah.
So I believe it's the rogues are the enemy. Cyrus is the man who gets shot in the beginning. And
Spoilers.
the warriors are from Coney Island, not Staten Island. They're from
right.
Coney Island. However, the crazy thing is, the movie starts in Van Cortlandt Park, which is really, really far from Coney Island. They make it a really long way.
Which is why the entire film is them trying to get
trying
back
to
to
walk
Coney
to New York
Island.
City. That's true. That's true. But like I have parked in Van Cortlandt Park and like gone into the city from there.
And walked into Van Cortlandt Park, looked longingly into the middle of it, and said, "Yes, I do dig it."
And I whispered under my breath, "Yes, I do dig it." And that started my militant overtake of the New York City Police Department. Very slowly from Utah. It's just crazy. Also, there's a gang called the Orphans. Mm-hmm. There's a gang called the Riffs. There's like the craziest. These are the craziest gangs. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much.
Yeah, it's real good.
These are so good. And of course, Swan is my favorite character because he's amazing and he's got great hair.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Have a good night, listeners. We love you.